You're watching DPI Web TV, your home for valuable information to help you grow your business through print, video, and online communications. Hi, Steve Counts here. Recently I was asked to speak to the Springfield Metro Rotary on the subject of how to get reviews for your business. I think we all agree that testimonials and reviews is a good way to increase your value, to help people have more trust in your company. So we gave a very specific method on how you can go and get more reviews for your business. It's a step-by-step plan that we outlined in that talk. I think you're going to like it. Watch it now. Good evening, everyone. We're going to talk a little bit about how to make money for your business and perhaps for your organization. You probably have heard the story of the two men that were in on a trip in the woods and hiking, and they saw a bear. And of course they did what most people did when the bear started running towards them, they ran. Except one didn't run. He stopped and started putting on running shoes, and the other guy turned to him and said, "Oh, are you crazy? You can't outrun a bear." He said, "No, I know that. All I have to do is outrun you." And that's really kind of what happens when it comes to the internet. If you are a little bit ahead of your competition in that regard, you're going to do fine. I'm not too worried about that, so I'll get to that eventually. But anyway, what I want to talk to you a little bit about, what do you think, Kevin? It's going to work out. What I want to talk to you a little bit about is a little bit of our journey on what we've done to help get a little better response from the internet. As Julie said, 7 out of 10 people now, when they decide to buy something that you sell or your company sells, they're going online, particularly on a local basis, to find it. And if they find you, then you've got a good chance of making that happen. We, about 3 years ago, we were zero on the internet. We had no prospects. About the only thing we had was a web page. So we started looking into that, and at that time, less than 5% of our customers came from the internet. Today, 68% of all of our new business, our new customers, come from the internet. This year, we've had more new customers join our company than any year since 2007. So that's, we're pretty excited about that. And I think, and the number one reason, again, is some of the things we've done on the internet. One of the things that we've done and we continue to do, and will help you get better results on the internet, is getting people to give positive reviews about your company. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about how that works and our journey in that regard. 71% of the people, and again, what Julie said was from a research study that said they will look at a review and they value that more important than anything else that they will in making a decision about your company, except for maybe a referral from your friends or a company. So that's, or your recommendations from your family. So what I have for you in a sample on the table is a little card that we've been using to help people give us reviews, and it's something that I would encourage you to take and swipe and use it for your business, or maybe encourage for your company. And even if you are working in a company as an employee and you think, well, how can how does this benefit me? I'd always encourage people to remind themselves that you really are a business in your own right. So I worked in corporate America for about 20-some years and was very loyal to that business, but things change. And if you're not marketing yourself and promoting yourself and even getting recommendations for yourself online, then you could find yourself in a situation where you may need some help, and having those recommendations in place can already be helpful to you. Here's our system. It's very simple. It basically is when you want someone to give you a review, one of the reasons we found, because we knew our customers liked us, they were telling us they liked us, but we weren't getting as many reviews, and what we found when we checked it out was it's kind of hard. I don't know if you've ever, have many of you ever given a review for a company, particularly a Google review? Yeah? Not very many people have. And one of the reasons people don't do it is two reasons. One, they're not asked, and that's important. And the second reason is it's a little challenging. So what we said, well, how can we do to make that easier? This is a step-by-step plan that any company can use to make it easy for people to give you a review. And if you look at it, it's pretty straightforward. We've got we've got two ways to do that. One, they can go to your website, and David, I'll let you do that. Type in www.digitalprintinc.net. In fact, I'll give you one of these cards. Maybe you can just do it as well. Or a person could also use a QR code. Now, let me ask you this question. How many of you are familiar with what a QR code is? All right, more of you. You've seen them. They're pretty common now. One of the reasons we started getting a little more active in the internet business was, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but people are not printing as much as they used to. You see, one of the problems that printers had, we thought people really liked to print things. What we found out was they didn't have a lot of other choices. And so all of a sudden the internet came along and they had other choices. And therefore we realized that, hey, you know, if we want to stay in business, we need to make some changes. Now, I don't know about your business, but almost every business out there has been changed by the internet in some way or the other. So at the time we were cussing it, and then that's why we decided 3 years ago, hey, we might as well make it our friend and try to make it work better for us. And the result, now we're getting, most of our new customers are coming from that. Okay, when you go to, so here's the scenario. Someone says, hey, I really like what you did. You guys are great. You saved my bacon, whatever it is they say. What we say then is, thank you very much, appreciate that. Would you do us a favor? Would you mind going to our website and filling out a review and sharing what you just shared with me? And what do you think they're going to say? Nah, I don't want to do that. I was just making that up. No, they're going to say, well, sure. And to make that easier for you, I actually have a little step-by-step card here that'll tell you how to do it. Now, they may or may not do it, but there's a chance of them doing it a lot easier because they have that step-by-step plan. And that's what we found was missing. People wanted to do it, but they didn't know how, or they would forget. So when they go to your website, very simple. If you can get to the top again, Dave, thank you. Like the directions say there, you just click on the Google Plus, the Google Places. See that up there at the top, Dave, right next to the YouTube there. Click on that. No, over a little farther. It's a little hard to use one of those. Do you see it? See that? Keep going. No. You're getting warmer. Help him out, Missy. Yes. And then you go there, and what does it say? Write a review. And then now I wouldn't be able to do that myself because, you know, that would get in trouble. But you click on the review. Now the other thing that does is it says you would have to sign in to Google Places. And so they click on that and they'll be asked to sign in. Now here's where it's a little bit of a challenge. And I'll talk about this in a minute. If they don't have a Google Plus account, and many people don't yet, they're still trying to build that up, then they're going to have to open up a Google Plus account. And some will and some won't. It's just the reality of that. But if they're willing to do that, then they fill that out, click on the review, fill out the review, submit it, boom, it's done. Here's my point about that. When you have a review on Google, and that's the one that most people use, 2 out of 3 people use Google to find things, and you have positive reviews about your business, and people are trying to decide between you and your neighbor, your competitor, and it's pretty much the same. We're nice, we're friendly, we have good prices, we have lots of volume, we do a good job. Everybody says that. But then when you have a series of reviews where people are saying this and this and this about you, then that's the deciding factor. Like I said, we weren't getting enough, and so we worked on this process. Now about 4 weeks ago when we started working on this, Google changed everything, and so the last 2 weeks, even after I told Dana that I would do this speech, we've been working to make the amendments to that, and we've got those finally worked out. But Google's always going to change things, and if you're involved in that at all, you just know that they do. I was talking to Tara about that, and when she gives a speech, she says before she gives a speech on social media, she has to go down the internet and see all the changes. She said, well, what's the big deal? The reality is people will always change, but reviews will always be a key factor on why people choose your business. So even though it's a little pain in the you-know-what to do it, it's worthwhile. The other thing to think about is a lot of businesses will not go to this much trouble to put something together, to print it out, and to train their people to say, when they say good things about them, either through email, and by the way, you could email it to somebody just as well as hand it to them, say, well, thank you, I appreciate that. Would you mind doing me a favor? They just told you you were great, and the chances are they'll say yes. And that's the other thing about asking for reviews and positive testimonials. It's the timing of that. That's also the thing about asking for referrals as well. But anyway, the point is then you hand them this card, and the chances are that they're going to fill that out is much greater than if you just say, would you do that for you? Now, will your competition do that? Chances are they probably are not doing that. So if you don't do anything, you're probably going to be okay. But all it takes is one competitor in your channel, like us, that does it, and suddenly the bar is raised. And it's that story of the two men in the woods, in the hiking, and all you have to do is outrun your competition. So that's the value of that. The other thing on QR codes, if that's something that the value of QR codes, since we're talking about that, is that it's a great way to have on your printed pieces for people who have smartphones can then scan their smartphone and then take them to your website. And that's a fairly good technique as well. So really that's really the summation of it. That's the key. Hopefully that was helpful to you to give you some ideas on how to get some more reviews for your company. And by the way, if you're a customer of DPI, we hope you'll consider giving us a review by following the steps that we shared. Go to our website, click on Google+, and give a review. Thanks.